Hey there, everybody. By now, many of you are asking the next most important question, which is, how can I see what my grade is overall for the course? That's not as hard as you might imagine. Here, I have signed in over at our course in MyIT My setup here looks a little different than yours. And there's not a ton I can do about that, but they're fairly similar. So I feel like we can do a screen grab here and show you where everything is located. Way down here on the left-hand side is grades. Now, you're not going to see admin tools, instructor notifications, manage course, those kinds of things. But grades is going to be located here for you. Now, when you click on this, you're going to get two available drop-downs, grades and custom view. And to date, they're going to show you exactly the same thing. So right here on grades is going to be just fine. The exams, this very top one, remember that's the stuff that's located over in Eagle. So this is that 40% of your grade. That's the chapters 1 through 3 quizzes, the chapter 4 and 5 quiz, the file management paths quiz, the Word, Excel, Access, PowerPoint quizzes. All of those are in Eagle. In the quizzes tab over here on your left-hand side, they would be. But here in MyIT this is where 60% of your overall grade is going to be. And here, the number out of 270, the number out of 200, the number out of 180. This will be a little bit different for everybody. It really does depend on how many things you've had an opportunity to go through and do. Now, I have all zeros here because I don't have to do the homework along with you guys. I've already done all of them, so I know what to expect there. And hopefully by now you guys have numbers filled in here. And these are going to show your progress overall for the course. The thing I will tell you is these exams, I don't go through and fill these out until later on because there's no due dates on them. So some of you will go through and do the quizzes in Eagle immediately. Others of you will not do them immediately. So overall, what to expect is you can see how you're doing if you catch along with these over here. And overall, the closer it is that your overall score is to 60%, the higher it is that you have to 100% of the stuff here in MyIT So roughly speaking, if you have a 50% all the way up to a 60% here in MyIT that's an A. 40 to 50% is a B, 35 to 40% or thereabouts is a C, and anything lower than that, I'm going to start poking at you so that you can come in here and complete more of the work. Just a reminder that when you come in through your main menu, when you come in through the calendar, when you come in through the assignment calendar, don't worry about the to-do completed. Really just stick here to the assignment calendar. And we're going to wait for this to load. It's my internet, it's not yours today. Here we go. Remember that even if today is the 29th and there's things assigned here 10 days ago, and even if, there we go. We'll scroll all the way to the bottom. If you, for instance, haven't done the Chapter 2 Concepts Review, that submission is not closed to you. You can come back through here and do it. So if I click on it and give it a few minutes here to go ahead, it's going to go ahead and start. And one thing I just wanted to point out one more time, you'll notice that you have 3 attempts for this assignment, and only the highest of them are going to appear in the grade book. That means that, let's say you came through and you were rushed or whatever the case may be, and you did a little more poorly than you would have preferred for this particular assignment, the concepts review. Great, go back in and do it again. You have 3 attempts. You don't have to feel like, well, I can't go back and recoup any of those points because either I did poorly on them or because, they were due 10 or 4 days ago. No, go back and do those. Again, I would rather hold the assignment open so that you can go back and redo them or do them for the first time, whatever the case may be. I would rather have you go back and do those so that you can be as best prepared as is possible for as best a grade as is possible in the course. One final thing I do want to point out here while we're poking around is in MyIT Lab, the biggest value to all of the points that you have is not in the training, the applied skills, or the concepts review. The biggest values points-wise you have are these grader projects. Do not skip the grader projects. As far as MyIT Lab is concerned, the grader projects are 60% of the overall MyIT Lab score, which means that these points for the Word, the Excel, the PowerPoint, and the Access grader projects, those points hit harder than all of the other points that you do. And again, when you go through and do these grader projects, if I click on them and we give it generous amounts of time to load, there we go. If we click on them and give them generous amounts of time to load, you'll notice that you have 3 attempts on this activity and only the highest will appear in the grade book. I am happy to release these for more submissions for you so that you can recoup all the points that are possible. So remember, over here in your main menu, down here at grades, and we'll give this a little bit of time to load, this is where you will find your overall grade. Remember that over here you are, depending on when it is that you come through here and look at your grades, you're going to see different numbers here. This is out of the assigned items that have already been, their due dates have already passed. So as of this writing, this recording rather, this would have been through January 29. So these numbers may be a little bit different. And the overall score, remember, the closer to 60% that you have, really that means it's the closer to 100% that you have. Over the course of the rest of this week, I will be reaching out to everybody with a go, no go, kind of like a, yeah, you're on track, yeah, you're extraordinarily on track, or these are the things you need to do to get on track. So, but overall, I think everybody is really progressing pretty well here in MyIT Lab. So that's the grades, which I know are extremely important to everybody.